I am going to tell you a little story as to why I decided I needed to put this sign on my door. And if it's backwards for you guys, I'm sorry. But people can read backwards, so you can get the gist of it. Okay, so I wanted to tell you this story yesterday of something very crazy that had happened. And I'm going to try to, I guess, go in order, but you know me, I sometimes like squirrel, hop around. Um, so yesterday was a great day. Me and my kids went to trunk or treat. Okay. I had elaborate face paint on. Some of you that watch my other channel would have known that I was Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. What's going on? I love him. I love you. Gotta love pause buttons because I'm not passing up hugs and snuggles from that little guy. Anyways, okay, so yesterday, great day, fun time, busy time, okay? Like anybody who's ever taken any kid anywhere knows it's always crazy.
Close the door. Or not.
Okay, so it was a whole busy day full of bouncy houses, everybody's in costumes, everybody's running around, free candy, just all kinds of Halloween fun, okay? So I end up getting my kids home from that, and then, you know, of course, they're eating a ton of candy. Everybody dressed up in their costumes. It was a super fun day. They were on that bouncy house for like 2 hours. Just everybody's having a blast, right? You know, but me, you know, I'm the mom. I'm there. I'm doing the things. I'm keeping track of everyone. I'm glad I felt confident and brave enough in my own to take 3 kids to do that thing because without a partner, it really is. It's really hard. I mean, and I did struggle a little bit. Like, my daughter wanted to go and do some plaything over there, and then my other kids wanted to go to this other thing, and I'm like, you know, we got to stay together. So, I mean, ideally, a partner would have been best. But you know what? I wasn't going to let that stop me and stop them from having fun. But anyways, like, you know, when I have my kids, it's like I'm just basically dedicated to doing what they need all the time, not worrying about me. You know, eventually it becomes late at night, so we get the showers, get the baths, do all that thing, get the pajamas. I lay them down in bed like finally. And like typically I do usually lay down with them. And sometimes they fall asleep after like 5 minutes, but sometimes it takes like a half an hour or 45 minutes because they'll sit there and they'll like kind of just be real excited. Well, yesterday, obviously, they were eating tons of candy. They were real excitable. So I was laying down with them for maybe 45 minutes, and it had gotten to be almost like 10:30 p.m. And then I could tell like they were kind of falling asleep, but then I was like kind of afraid to get up. You know how like when your babies just fall asleep and you're kind of afraid to get up. That really popped and showed that black cherry lipstick. My goodness. If you guys are interested in my lipstick, check out Empress of Glam on YouTube. That's where I talk about my lipstick, and that is a sweet ass color. But anyways, random notification popped up and highlighted that. I was like, I really do love this color. So I mean, I'm at this point, I hate to say it, but at this point at 10:30 at night, maybe 10:45, I'm an exhausted mom. Okay? I'm an exhausted mom. And I'm like, Oh, but before I put them to bed, this is kind of bringing home the point of what happened last night that really freaked me out. Before I shuffled the little kids off to do their baths in bed, I also have I have 3 older kids and I have 3 younger kids. So one of my older kids was here. He was just chilling on the couch watching TV, and of course, the tornado of the 3 little ones. Well, 2 of the little boys were like, kind of grabbing at him, like taking his socks off. Nothing like cruel or mean, but just general sibling stuff. They were messing with him. They'd throw a piece of candy at him, or they'd come up behind him and kind of like, grab at him, or like they were jumping on him kind of. And he was fine with it for maybe like half hour or so. And then it was like, he was worn out. He wanted to just chill. So he ended up going in his room, and that was that. When I got up after laying down with the kids, I came downstairs and I make sure, this is like what I do. I come downstairs, I make sure all my doors are locked. I make sure that most of the lights are turned off. I might leave like a kitchen light on. Oh, what?
What happened?
Yeah, don't leave your candy bucket.
Mom.
All right. So, whatever. So I come downstairs after they all fall asleep.
Scare her with the cat.
And no, don't scare anybody with the cat. Just hold the kitty nice. It's okay. Just stay.
Mom.
Stop. Okay. All right. So I come downstairs after I get them asleep. And of course, I'm already tired. So it's like I'm kind of in like a daze. And I've really been working on my healing, though. You guys know that. But I still, as a woman alone, there is a level of fear that I still have of being alone. And I always have that feeling like, oh, if I'm getting in the shower, what if one of my kids needs me? What if they wake up? What if somebody comes in and takes my babies while I'm in the shower? You know what I mean? Like irrational fears sometimes, but I mean, anything is possible. I just don't want to be irresponsible or like lackadaisical about the safety of my kids. So, I mean, I definitely make sure all my windows are locked. I make sure all my doors are locked, stuff like that before I even attempt for some alone time, right? And I've been working so much on like clearing old fears. Like I had noticed certain things triggered me, and I didn't know why. So a lot over the summer, I had become aware that when I would see a car driving down the street and I'm like alone at night, I would like get real freaked out and I would start getting very bad anxiety from that. And then I would always want to run inside because it would scare me. I'm like, oh my God, is someone coming for me? And I don't know where I got that fear. And I don't know if that was from this lifetime or a past lifetime, but I started noticing it. And I would notice that as a car would drive down the street, I would like get up from where I was sitting by my tree and I would want to run inside because I would have such anxiety that they were there. When I started noticing this about myself, I said, you know what? This is a trigger. There is something subconsciously telling me that I need to fear that a car is coming near, and that is like irrational. So, funny thing about when you're working on your healing and you're working on clearing your triggers, sometimes the universe will like literally send you a trigger and be like, are you really healed? Are you really healed, or you just think you are? So as I cleared this, this fear, this anxiety that I've had of, cars pulling up, I would say to myself, I have no reason to be fearful of this. I am fine. I am safe. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with me feeling safe. And this is a pretty safe neighborhood, although I have lived in neighborhoods that were absolutely not safe at all, and I did get broken in like almost on the daily basis, and I have been in situations where I've ended up in the hospital, and I have been in bad situations. And so maybe some of it came from that. But anyhow, I'm trying to improve my life and I'm trying to have a happy life. And so part of that is releasing residual fears. Okay? I'm getting to the point. Follow me, stick with me. So I come downstairs, lock all my windows, lock all my doors, make sure my other kid is sleeping. He didn't have to be sleeping if he didn't want. I mean, he's grown, but he was asleep. So now by 10:45, this is like 10:45 at night, I'm finally kind of feeling like, you know how when you're just doing it all day, you're just at it, you're just going, you're getting the things done, you're doing all that, how you're so pent up and you just feel like you want to exhale, like you can, have that breathing moment where you're like, oh, okay, I'm good, I can relax. So that's what I'm thinking. So I put on some meditation music and I am like getting into my, my feminine flow, my mindset, my I am safe, I am okay. It's okay for me to relax, trying to talk myself into this thing. And I'm kind of really tired and in a bit of a daze. And, I finally get to that release where I'm feeling like I'm okay. I take my clothes off. I had to take this whole costume off. All right. I had an elaborate costume. I had the whole face paint thing. I'm in my bathroom alone. So I think I'm safe. I'm fine. I'm in my bathroom. I started taking my clothes off. I start running my bath water. I'm using a wipe and taking off my makeup. I'm doing my routine and I'm thinking that I'm fine to do so. As soon as I kind of sink into that, like, how you just sink into the relaxation or even a meditative state, I really sunk into a meditative state. And all of a sudden I hear this pounding at my door. And it shocked through my heart like a freaking heart attack. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I'm scared. I'm thinking someone's here. I'm thinking, oh my God, who the hell's here? I think that's one of the biggest fears you have. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't want to feel invaded upon when I'm in my home. I made sure my kids are sleeping. I'm in my own home. I want to be safe to do what I'm doing. So I wasn't even sure if I heard it or not, but I'm sitting there now. I'm basically in a full-blown panic attack and I can't breathe. And then it happened again. Boom, like just pounding. I mean, it felt like an angry male was trying to bust down my door and get in, and I'm like freaking the hell out, and I'm like, oh my God, are my doors locked? Even though I knew I just locked them. But I'm like, what's going on? And then they do it again, like they don't stop, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And I'm like, where's my phone? I'm thinking, do I need to call the police? Like, I'm so scared about this. And I just grabbed some pants. I didn't even know what they were. Just my random like pajamas rolling around. I had grabbed a sweatshirt. And it was like halfway hanging off. I didn't bother with a bra, And they're pounding at my door. And then I'm like, who is it? And, through the door, I don't just open it right up. They're like, this is the police. You need to open up right now. And I'm like, why? What's going on? I'm like, you're scaring me. And I mean, I have had incidents where the police have knocked on my door before. But they damn sure weren't knocking like some angry beast trying to like come in. Like it was scary. And the kid that normally they knock on the door for wasn't even home. And I had specifically messaged him because I lock my doors, and I told him, I messaged him, I sent him a text, and I said, hey, all the doors are locked. I'm getting in the shower, so I just want to let you know when I get out of the shower, I'll check in on you. It should only be 20 minutes. If you get home while I'm in the shower, don't make a big fuss. Don't go pounding on everything. Just chill, and I'll be out soon, you know? Because I don't feel comfortable just leaving my doors unlocked on the off chance that he might show up. So he messaged me back and was like, okay, I'm not going to be there for another hour anyway. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I wanted to just clear my mind. You know how moms are? Before you can do anything for yourself, you got to clear your mind of like everyone else. Like, oh, is everyone else that I have to worry about okay? Can I finally? So I'm here naked in the shower, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I come downstairs, and they're like demanding of me opening the door, and then like, we need to see your son. I'm not saying his name, but I'm like, for what? I'm like, he's sleeping. I'm like, he didn't do anything. I'm like, he's been here. Well, go get him. Go get him. We need to speak to him now. We're concerned about something he posted on social media. And I'm like, oh my God, like, can you chill? I'm like, you just gave me a heart attack. Then the dude, he's like trying to like open my front door, like opening my screen door. Like, ma'am, I need to step in here and talk to you. And I'm like, no. I'm like, let me get a shirt or something. Like, at this point, I'm so in shock and I can't even think straight, and I feel so exposed. Like, I want to cry. I'm literally full-blown panic attack. I'm like, oh my God. So I shut the door because it's cold anyways. I shut my hard door. So I went out and I did go and get my son first, actually. I remember I had to wake him up. I'm like, hey, the cops are here. They want to talk to you. And like, I didn't know what it was about. I'm like, so this poor thing gets up out of bed and he comes outside. Like, obviously had been sleeping for an hour or two. He comes outside and, you know, they start talking to him, and then they want to try to come up in my house and be like, ma'am, I want to talk to you right now. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, let me get a shirt. I don't know what to think. And like, in my logic, I'm like, I don't really need a shirt. I needed what I would have felt more comfortable with was if I had a bra, if I was fully dressed, if I wasn't like given a heart attack. So I'm walking over towards my laundry pile, as you can see right here, maybe. I have all my towels, my laundry, you know, before I move it up to put it in the closets. It sits here. And I have a big picture window over there, if you can see. Anyways, you see that I moved the curtains. Typically, that's all the way open. So when I shut the door, I'm trying to cut through and come over to my laundry pile because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel comfortable right now. I'm just walking. And so dude starts pounding on my window, pounding on my glass, and shining a flashlight into my home, into my living room. And I'm like, oh my God, I am so scared at this point. And I moved my curtains over to block that. And I yelled out the door. I'm like, please stop. I'm like, you're freaking me out. Like, stop. You're giving me an anxiety attack. And like, they don't even care. And they're like, ma'am, your son's posting, I guess before bedtime or whatever, when I took the kids away to go get their showers, he had posted some stuff apparently on Snapchat. I don't know, I'm not on there. Something about, oh, I'm so sick of this shit, I want to die, or these kids make me want to kill myself, or I don't know what he posted, but somehow it got looped around to they're thinking there's some emergency over here where my son's actually gonna harm himself. And first of all, he's got no access to anything in this home that he could harm himself with. Second of all, the kid's afraid of a paper cut. He's not gonna fucking harm himself. He's a happy, well-adjusted kid, okay? Now, I'm not upset about this. I'm just thinking here, I'm like, And so I'm like, TK, back up. You know, you don't have to say anything to them, is what I'm saying to my son. He's like, oh, ma'am, excuse me, I'm talking to him. And I said, yeah, well, I'm not going to let you manipulate him. I'm like trying to tell him, TK, you know what? You don't have to say anything. They're trying to ask for all his information. I'm like, I'm not saying anything. And they're like, wow, just wow. And they're like, when he was trying to come up in my house, like, ma'am, I want to talk to you away from him. And I'm like, no, like, you're not coming in here. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, I was about to get a bath. You guys are really, really overstepping some boundaries here. I'm like, my son was sleeping. And he's like, wow, this is just, I can't even believe you. I can't even talk to you. Like, basically trying to insinuate that I don't care about my kid, that I care. Oh, they're like, well, I want to talk to you about your kid and you care more about getting a shirt. What kind of person are you? And I'm thinking, well, you guys are really making this into something that it's not. They're trying to basically act like I don't care about my kid or something. And I don't know what they were trying to do, but it really freaking annoyed me. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not worried about any of this because I know how he is. I know who he is. I'm with him all day, every day, pretty much, other than when he goes to his work program and, or if he's out like having lunch with somebody or whatever. Like, I know that when he was saying that stuff, he was just mad because his younger siblings were toying around with him, and it was just something. I mean, everybody can vent like that. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a serious thing. And so they're trying to accuse us of like some serious shit going down in his bedroom. Like, he's really got some actual plot to actually go through with doing this. And I'm like, look here, you guys really need to quit. Like, really need to quit worrying about people's social medias. And I hope they see this video because the shock and terror that they did to me, and on top of that, me having to wake up my son and poor son outside in a daze, like, and I even told them after they left, I'm like, you do not need to do this to him. He is a good kid. Like, you guys need to leave him alone. So they're sitting there, they're like, we're concerned. We think this, and this is going on. And I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you, it's not. I'm like, it's not like that. I'm like, so when I tell you that it's not like that, then you guys need to be on your way out of here. I'm like, and first of all, like, you can't just keep pounding on someone's door. It was 11 p.m. I had just gotten my little kids to sleep. I am naked in a bathroom, and they're like, well, you need to get to the door. And I'm like, I was halfway stepped into my bath when you knocked and scared the hell out of me. And I had no clothes on. I had to throw on whatever I had. Like, you fucking scared me. So anyways, I'm just like flabbergasted at this whole thing. I'm just upset. I mean, my heart is just pounding. I feel like I'm getting judged. I feel like they're looking at me funny because my makeup's smeared, obviously, because I had fucking Halloween face paint on. And then I'm like using my Foops remover and I'm trying to, like, you know, I smear the makeup off before I do the actual wash. So I didn't even look in the mirror. I'm sure, you know, I don't know what they're saying and what they're thinking about me, but it wasn't nothing nice. I can guarantee that because their energy was really, really sparking my heart. Okay. So they're just like, wow, you are really something else. I can't believe you don't even care. Like, we're sitting here telling you that your kid is suicidal. I'm like, my kid's not suicidal. He posted some stuff that because he was pretty annoyed with his siblings and he's been asleep for an hour. So you don't get to come here as a stranger and tell me what my kid is or isn't. Like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay at all. So it just scared me. And I'm thinking, why is this coming into my existence? Because I'll tell you why. I've been working really, really hard at releasing fears, at releasing all those issues, all those old running subconscious thoughts that make me feel like I'm unsafe to be alone in my home. As a woman, like, now none of this would be an issue if my beloved was here. I would just be like, hey babe, I'm getting a shower. And I know that I'd be safe because if anybody did come and knock on the door, or if anything happened, like, he'd be here, he'd be alert, and he'd be like in charge, protector, But I'm really trying to release all that inside of me that, that gives me that horrible panic attack when stuff like that does happen, I mean, the likelihood of anything bad happening is slim, but the way they were knocking, it was not like, I've had police knock on the door before, and yeah, it's louder than a normal person, but I mean, this was scary. This was loud, like something like an angry ex who wanted to come in and like choke you out would do. Like, that's how they knocked. And I just thought it was really inappropriate. I thought it was really, really, what's that word? Violating to me. I felt very exposed, especially when they were saying, well, you need to come and answer the door. It's like, what if I was in the bath? What if I was literally all the way in the tub? I mean, I only had my feet in when they knocked, but I still had no clothes, and I wasn't expecting a knock. So my heart was pounding, and I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, well, then you should have opened a window. And I'm like, I couldn't even think straight. I was so tired already. And then I put on my meditation music, and I have my bath salts, and I'm just smelling it. I'm really trying to feel good. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling calm. I'm trying to enjoy that little tiny piece of my day that I believe I've earned from, mothering all these children all day. And what do? They rob me of that. They rob me of my peace of mind. They rob me of my relaxation time that was well-deserved. And then on top of that, they throw judgment in there. Yes, babe? All right, so that was the story. I don't want to, what?
I just fooded, but...
So that was that. And I'm just thinking, okay, good. So I obviously, I was like, I would talk to my kid about this whole thing, and like, oh my gosh, you can't say stuff on social media. Like, I'm already in the middle of this whole fucking court case because of something I posted on social media that I didn't think was even a big deal at all. And then people are turning it into a huge deal. My other son, he got in trouble. You guys already know this story. He got expelled from school for 90 days because he posted a picture on a Sunday afternoon of him and his friends shooting targets with BB guns in a outside wilderness setting. Expelled for something on social media. I told my kid, I'm like, look, you may think you're just saying stuff, but somebody out there is going to twist that around and make it seem like it's something that it's not, and you can get in trouble. Or obviously, even if they did think it was an emergency situation, but God, like, can they have some kind of respect for people when they come to your home at 11 p.m.? I mean, that is scary shit. It really is. And I mean, I like the city that we live in, and usually all the cops are really down to earth, really nice, really understanding. Like, we haven't had many issues with them. I don't think they're all out to like get everybody, but that incident last night was not okay at all. It freaked me out. It gave me a heart attack, and then I wasn't even able to sleep the whole night. I was like in and out of sleep because I kept thinking, oh my God, like, I don't know. It just sparked something in me. So maybe I'm not fully healed. maybe that was just a trigger for me to remind me, hey, I have more healing to do. I have more to do. But honestly, it's like I feel like I've done so much healing to get rid of the subconscious stuff that I'm not safe, whatever else. But I mean, my God, when you hear a pounding like that on your door, when you are naked stepping into a tub at 11 p.m., I mean, it fucking scared the shit out of me. And yeah, for them to sit there and say, oh, what kind of a mother are you? You're not even concerned. Well, because there's really nothing to be concerned about. What kind of a person are you assuming that there's got to be something to be concerned about? Like, I know the signs. I've put 2 of my kids in counseling when it was necessary, and it was like, this isn't a thing. Like, you're making it to be a thing that it's not. So when I tell you it's not a thing, instead of sitting there acting like I'm more concerned. Oh, you're more concerned with getting your shirt on. He's saying, oh, you're more concerned with getting in your bath. And it's like, I don't know how to answer that, because it's like, you're here at my house, you're interrupting my time, and you made me wake my kid up out of bed to talk to you. Now, if this was a true emergency, y'all would have been here an hour and 45 minutes ago when he was still awake and maybe did post on social media. It damn sure wouldn't be an hour and a half later when he's peacefully sleeping in his bed, because obviously he chose to just sleep it off instead of do something dangerous. And I had already known that because I had already checked on him. And, you know, it was just some bullshit. Some fucking bullshit. So, yeah. That's my story. That's my story. That's why I put that sign on my door. And I don't know. I'm really trying to get over it. So I felt like talking about it may, you know, it was scary. I was scared. So I hope they catch me another time, like just outside or whatever. Like, you know, they can see that I'm not that whatever they're judging me as. Like, it's not that I care about what they think, but I mean, yeah, without my Halloween makeup smeared all over my face, and like me with my rapid heartbeat, and like I will say something to them again. I do remember who they were. And I, like, at the point where I can speak normally, that's why he's like, I want to talk to you. I'm like, I don't think I can even talk right now. I'm like, you have my anxiety. I couldn't breathe. My anxiety, my heart was pounding. I'm like, I can't even talk. Like, I can't even think after what you guys put me through. Like, and then they just act like it's not even nothing. And I'm like, really? Like, have some like respect or compassion. I don't know what the word is, but anyways, I'm not happy with that. But it's obviously showing me some more triggers I need to clear. I wasn't very nice. I wasn't very nice to them because of the anxiety riddled state that I had because of what they did. But typically when they do come, I am like nice. I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm usually pretty nice enough to like talk in a conversation, but I mean, this is, you know, if they come like at a decent time, but gosh, they really caught me off guard. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just telling my story. So anyways, hope you enjoyed my little story about the cops fucking with me. And my kid's fine. He's totally happy. It's just, God, you know, it's like, you know, when you have those moments, like people do go through stuff. People do sometimes feel like, oh my God, everything's so overwhelming. I just want to die. Like we all have moments where we feel like that. And the sad thing is now it's becoming to where people are almost afraid of venting and afraid to speak what they feel because of stuff like this. And you know what? I said to my son, I'm like, hey, you know, I said, you wouldn't really, you know, you don't really think. And he's like, no, of course not. He's like, the kids had me annoyed. They were annoying. And I'm like, I know. I knew that. But I said, you know, you can always talk to me. You can always talk to somebody else. It's like, but obviously don't fucking post shit on social media. obviously, you know, which sucks, but I mean, some of us don't have friends to text. Like, so, I mean, it is what it is. It's a lesson learned, and I'm going to be working on clearing more triggers. I hope that next time I get a knock on the door in the middle of the night or late at night, like, I don't freak out about it. And yeah, so Black Cherry, y'all, it's the shit. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of my page. If you have any comments, go ahead with it. And peace.